What will inspire you now? I've got this feeling because I've done this thing, recording videos and giving you a message for a long time now. And sometimes you can lose a little bit sense of an inspiration, because one thing is of course because you don't maybe get the response that you feel that you should receive. That is one thing. And of course when you do this each and every day, all year round, for a long time, of course you maybe get a little lack of inspiration. So yeah, I'm looking for some inspiration myself also, so this reading is also a little bit for myself, to get some guidance of what maybe I can do different to get some inspiration. Of course, we can always look at our daily lives to get inspiration from that point of view. And some easily get inspiration from music, watching movies, reading books, looking at social media, as here, of course. But maybe I must admit that maybe sometimes social media is a little bit draining, because you see that there are so many out there that maybe a little bit more inspired than yourself. So let's get a little boost and maybe get some direction on how to get inspired again. So, as I said in the intro, how I'm not sure about the title, but how will I find inspiration again, or what can inspire us to do maybe things a little in a different way, or inspire us to continue on our path. And I was sitting and puzzling now while I was shuffling and preparing the cards, and why it was of course in my subconscious, and it came to me now why I was concerned about this topic, because yesterday I watched a beautiful movie that I must say it really touched my heart. And I'm not sure if the title was Life with a Penguin or something like that. Now, it was a story about an English professor, and this English professor, he has been hired to, of course, teach English. But of all things, he is teaching English in Argentina, and this was during the 70s, when there was a lot of bad things happening all over, mostly all over South America, in that period of time. And Argentina were a country with dictatorship, and was another very interesting documentary about the collaboration between Argentina and Spain, because it's a little bit off the topic here, but Spain was also a dictatorship until the end of the 70s. And yeah, with that said, a lot of there was a military coup while this professor was there. But the story is that he goes to Uruguay for a vacation. It was obviously more tranquil in that part of South America. And when he's there, he encounters a penguin that is lying on the beach. He's all greased up in oil, and he saves his life. And for some reason, this penguin doesn't want to let this man go. So he brings with him, maybe the passport control weren't so strict as it is today. He's not traveling by airplane, he's traveling by bus. So yeah, he smuggles this penguin into Argentina, and yeah, and it turns out that this penguin will be his inspiration, and he writes actually later on in life a book about it was the lessons of a penguin. Yeah, that was it. The lessons of a penguin. This was so beautiful. So, inspiration. This professor has, of course, totally lost his inspiration of teaching. And yeah, of course, he's in a foreign country, and Spanish is the native tongue, of course. So yeah, it makes the task even harder. But first, he managed to get this inspiration back, thanks to this penguin. Penguino, as it's said in Spanish, penguino. So, let's see. It was a little long intro. I'm sorry, but that is how my readings are. So let's look at the cards. You can, of course, play on fast-paced if you want to. Autoconocimiento. Self-knowledge. The knowledge about yourself. Sumergete en tus profundidades. Allí reside tu verdad. Interesting. So it's somewhat translated. Yes, that was the word. It's not easy to be trilanguage, I must say, yeah. Trilingual, that is the word, trilingual. So it's something about acknowledging. Look at this, the roots. I actually got this card when I was doing my readings for myself this morning. I will take a little pause and read again what it said. So there is something about acknowledging within yourself and not search for things outside of yourself that can give you inspiration. That is a very interesting perspective. Yeah, so the advice here is also that you consult a therapist or a shaman, or you can practice a ritual, of course, to get the knowledge from within out. Okay, so then the inspiration is already inside you. Maybe you need you just need to do a ritual to get this inspiration out. Or maybe, as I talked about the intro, the lessons of the penguin. It was such an innocent thing, because this penguin, he became like a therapist for those who had trouble with talking, for example, to a therapist. And they just emptied themselves out of their worries, of their trouble. And the penguin, of course, the response of a penguin, what can it be? It can't speak man language. So yeah, let's move on. Sharing of yourself. Again, we have this sharing of yourself. We had this sharing of yourself in the new moon reading that I posted the other day. I am an incredibly generous being. And that was also what he discovered, this professor. That because of the difficulties within the country at that moment of time, they just took people off the street and put them. They even today don't know where some people are. We don't know if they got tortured or if they got unlived. Whatever. There are so many people still in Argentina that are missing, and they don't know where. So he helps one of the staff, the cleaning lady of his apartment, and he get to know her granddaughter. And yeah, she's the only relative that this woman has, and he helps to get her liberated. If this is true or not, I'm not sure, but it's a part of the movie at least. Let's look at the last one. Breaking barriers. This reminds me of, when art are being how is it? When art are being so provocative, for example, an example of a provocative art. I can't come up with anything right now. It's, but yeah, provocative art. Yeah, maybe Picasso. In that moment of time when he he invented and showed off his works, the quadratic, you know, the art of work that doesn't look exactly like a woman, you know. They are, it's maybe it's called cubism. Yes, it's called cubism. And at that moment of time when it was released, it was the public discussed it, because that is not how they want to see, for example, a beautiful woman. Like drawing her face like a square, she had two faces, yeah, etc., etc. So that is, of course, shocking art. So go beyond limitations, I feel, to get the inspiration. Don't hold yourself back, I feel. But it's by holding yourself back, that is when you lose the inspiration, right? The King of Wands is someone that is definitely not holding himself back. He is showing off layers upon layers upon layers of masks that is falling out. And he is, of course, the innovator. He's thinking differently. He's the creator, the creative creator. Definitely. Okay. Finding inspiration. Okay, let's see. Get one more card. So as I said, just speed up if you want it to move faster. But you know, a good channel doesn't channel fast. Okay. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. Thinking differently. Yeah, this is a very interesting card. 6 of Pentacles is actually about giving and receiving. And here you can see that this hand within this, whatever this is replacing the brain to each and every one here with a walnut. Now, I feel that this is a message for you to think different, of course. Think different from the mainstream. Yeah. Beyond the limitations. Think, if to find inspiration, you need to think differently and be differently from the mainstream. That is why, of course, I do this, because I don't do this pick a card things because all the other tarot readers are doing it, except from me. And as I've seen that some other tarot readers also starts now to do the same thing as I have done for so long now. Just have a single reading about one topic. You don't need a lot of options to get a message through. King of Swords, yes. Think differently, be differently, create differently. The King of Swords is, of course, unapologetically true to themselves. They know, he knows himself inwards and out, without question of a doubt. He's not questioning himself because he knows. And the last one, Ten of Swords in the reverse. Ten of Swords in the reverse is, of course, the ending of a painful, ending of something painful. But I feel that this is the message of using the pain as a, because that is what, with this lesson of a penguin, he started to use his pain because he had lost his daughter in a tragic accident, and that is, maybe he had lost his light of life, light for life, and by getting this penguin as a scent from above, he found the inspiration again. But when this, of course, something happens, and of course he doesn't feel too bad. He uses his pain as a transformer to find the inspiration again. And he, from locking himself in, he started to share his story about how his daughter died, and and how much it has affected himself. I don't know what happened to his wife, but I guess that they got divorced, and maybe his wife, I don't know. I don't want to speculate about his wife because I don't know. But I at least I understand that they got separated because of this. They couldn't endure. They didn't grow together in the grief. Maybe because they maybe because the daughter was the only thing that glued them together. So use your pain. Don't hold back. Expand beyond limitations and use your pain as a tool for success. Yes. Whatever you have experienced, use it as a tool to get the success that you want. By sharing of yourself, don't think, be different from any other. Be yourself, of course. Be authentic. Be generous, but not generous as giving up yourself, because you know now, you acknowledge now that you are true to yourself. Okay, I thank you so much for watching this video. It was a little bit long, but yeah, that's how life is. I see you again in another reading very soon. Bye for now.